Entertainment companies are supposed to respect and protect their artists, but what happens when they are the ones laying hands on them and causing harm and damage to their reputation that could later lead to trauma? This is the story of Yellowbee, a girl group who had to endure traumatic experiences by the hands of grown men in power, forced to comply for the shot of reaching their idol dreams. Hi everyone, and welcome back to Midnight Theories, and if you're new here, welcome to Midnight Theories. Today, we'll be going over the assault and harassment allegations made by Adi, a former member of Yellowbee. But before we can get to the main topic of this video, we need to start from the very beginning. Yellowbee debuted on November 23, 2017, under Addiction Entertainment, making them the first ever group to be managed under the label. The group consisted of 5 members, known as Barry, Sona, Boyan, Somi, and Rosie. When the quintet released their debut track Hiccup, the song was not well received by the public, calling the MV quality cheap and complained about the audio distortion all throughout the song. Just shy of 8 months, the group released their first comeback with their track If You Love Me. With this comeback, the group was able to branch out by performing in events, finally performing at music shows like Music Bank and The Show, and do a few promotional activities. This was a huge step for the group and gained them a bit more exposure, leading the group into a promising future. Alas, unbeknownst to Honey Jars, Yellowbee's fandom, they were not prepared for the announcement that Addiction Entertainment would make within the following year. On June 7, 2019, the company made a post on Instagram announcing all the members had left the company, but they would be replacing them with a whole new lineup of girls that they had already been preparing for their next comeback. Prior to the lineup change post, the company made an announcement that they would be opening auditions and looking specifically for a new foreign member. On June 27th, just 20 days since the lineup change announcement, the new members made their debut with the song DVD. The new lineup consisted of 5 members: Ryuhi, Annie, Ari, Soi, and Solha. This new batch of girls were open to more opportunities, performing overseas, doing more events, having a fuller schedule, and even connecting with their fans more. Again, the girls were on their way to solidifying their place in an oversaturated industry where most groups go unnoticed, especially when you debut under a small company. Yellowbee hit a roadblock when the pandemic hit and the world came to a stop. On May 25, 2020, Addiction Entertainment notified their fans, Honey Jars, that they had to halt all future activities and postpone their upcoming comeback that was scheduled to release sometime in June. Thereafter, the company made a new announcement announcing the disbandment of the group. But it wasn't your typical disbandment announcement. The way the company wove around their liability was to blame a sole unnamed member for, quote, living a promiscuous lifestyle. This is how the post reads. Yellowbee, who debuted in 2017, was preparing for their 3rd digital album, DVD, after a change in member lineup. We had planned to continue Yellowbee's activities, but due to promiscuous behavior in Member B's private life, the agency and the members were unable to come to an agreement. Based on this, the agency made their internal decision to disband the group. We are deeply sorry to the fans who were waiting for the album. This announcement was completely unprofessional and unnecessary. It almost made the fans completely speechless on how the company went about this and publicly shamed one of their idols, who they are supposed to protect and be responsible for. A week after the group's disbandment, former member Adi took to her personal Instagram and made a post detailing the neglect, exploitation, harassment, and sexual assault the members underwent by their former company. Her post reads as follows. Hello, this is Adi. I ask for your understanding, even if the statement is somewhat disorganized. I believe that since this issue has gotten bigger, I need to explain myself. We are not a group that is famous enough to call for explanations, but the articles about us are showing more interest in us than we were when we debuted. This kind of overwhelming interest confused us and spread the stories even more. The agency had stated that one of our members was promiscuous. I don't know what the agency means by the word promiscuous. Is it promiscuous if a man and woman just stand together outside? Are all people promiscuous? It is absolutely not true that she was promiscuous. This is something the agency exaggerated. That member was not the one to engage in promiscuous behavior. In fact, it would be wrong to say that it was the agency who engaged in such behavior. There were incidences of harassment and sexual assault from the managers and agency staff. A staff member tried to drag one of the members to the practice room to sleep with her. Lots of people were present at the time, but only the other member stopped him from dragging her off. There were also instances where they asked us to call them oppa or touch her thighs. A former manager said unbelievable things like, "I'll give you a baby, so let's go to a motel," and "Daddy's seeking you out because he knows you." There were also several incidences in which they would call us at dawn and ask us to serve alcohol to people whom they said were investors. We kept quiet and kept going because we wanted to be singers. These incidences were really shocking at the time, and even now they remain traumatic memories. Furthermore, we were never paid. And there were times where we had to pay for costumes, shoes, and video editing ourselves. We had to go to a Japanese event once, and the CEO had to leave us at the airport at 5 a.m. But he said that he was the only one who could take us there. So he took us to the Gimpo airport at 5 a.m. and gave us a card and told us to figure out our plane tickets by ourselves. He then left us alone. We had never even bought plane tickets on our own before. Only the later Ruhi had a phone, so we had to contact various people in order to figure out how to get tickets. We had to get cheap tickets, so it took a long time. The takeoff time was 1 p.m., so we sat at the Gimpo airport for 8 hours. The tickets were from Incheon Airport, so we took all of our clothes and personal items to the Incheon Airport by ourselves and boarded the plane. When we were in Japan, the 5 of us had to work alone without a single staff member. The people there knew that our CEO had returned to Korea by himself. This is not promiscuous behavior, but we were not treated properly. This is inappropriate treatment. This inappropriate treatment is why we said we would quit the group, not because of a member's promiscuous behavior. Everything I had written until now are only a few examples of this kind of treatment we received. From the very start, we were at odds with the agency because of what they call our promiscuous behavior. However, we ignored that and worked hard in order to achieve our debut. So it's ridiculous that they would use that as an excuse for our disbandment. This was included in the certification of contents that we sent to the agency. The agency is making us look bad. We don't know how to respond, so I've appointed myself our representative to write this. The company subsequently released a statement addressing each allegation brought up by Adi. Hello, this is Addiction Entertainment's official statement. First, thank you for showing much love and interest in Yellowbee and Addiction Entertainment. We are issuing this statement to share our official stance regarding the incidences. We met with 4 Yellowbee members excluding member B, and we are issuing the statement that was written with their agreement. First is the incident that happened about a year ago. It occurred at an event venue. There was a family in the audience who had a child. She said that when she saw the child, she said, "I want to have a cute kid like that when I get married in the future." And the manager standing next to her had heard and said the rude remark. The manager said that it was a joke, but we cannot just move past it as it was a serious issue. So our company severely reprimanded him at the time. However, we did not tell the members we took care of the issue. The manager left the company a year ago. Next, we will address the incident of sexual harassment. This case is related to a music video producer named Yoon. Yoon is not an agency staff member. He has never worked as an employee of the agency, and he is also someone who has caused a lot of damage to our company as well. There were a lot of work-related matters to talk about it, and we had a desk empty in the office, so he asked if he could use the desk. We permitted it for the sake of the production for a better music video. That would be why the Yellowbee members misunderstood and thought he worked for the agency. Many people who saw the music video said it looked cheap and asked, "Did you film it on a rooftop?" But we had no choice. It had been decided that Yoon would film the music video and had only sent the music video cue sheet. There was no feedback 2 to 3 days before the filming was to begin. So our agency directly called the music video director. However, the director replied that Yoon had said he had paid them a deposit, but they hadn't received anything at all, so they said the filming was cancelled. The members' debut date had already been announced, and there were articles about it, so we ended up filming the MV in a rush. We want to say more about Yoon, other than the music video, but since the important thing is the sexual harassment incident, we will just talk about the main topic. At the time, the agency director and female manager were there. They did not see the sexual harassment take place. We did not even imagine that Yoon would do that sort of thing in front of the people. And we think it was a large mistake to have not been paying attention to the members. The members went to stop him when he was bringing her to the practice room, and after that, people including the agency director and manager cursed him out, and there was a fight. This happened after the members had gone home, and since it was an unpleasant matter, we did not tell the members that there had been a fight. So it's possible that the members could have thought that the agency hadn't taken any measures in response. Adi responded to the company statement in a separate Instagram post. The company that was supposed to protect us abandoned us and stood up for the manager during the harassment. We will reveal some of the truths of the day that many people are curious about. The member's mother, who came to see our performance, informed other parents of the manager's sexual and assault. And the parents who knew about this complained to the company, but the company called us the victims and shouted loudly and screamed. The manager who molested us forced us to live together in a room at the time of our Japanese activities. And if the manager had not voluntarily left the company, we would have to endure secondary damage in a distant country and continue our activities. We are also very hurt by the company's attitude. We are a girl group, but we have human rights as people and women. I took courage to disclose the sexual harassment to the media, and I almost suffered secondary damage, but I endured it all. However, at the words of the company, we have to live as promiscuous women for the rest of our lives, and it is so unfortunate and painful. She continued, the company blamed us for all of the responsibilities, and because we couldn't continue our activities by trusting in a company that didn't protect us, it was difficult to endure it, so we decided to leave. By Ade being so vocal about the circumstances and exposing the inappropriate behavior and treatment they underwent, led many to believe that similar situations could have happened to the original lineup of members, because again, they all did leave abruptly together. What are your thoughts on the Yellow Bee case and the exploitation and mistreatment idols face behind the scenes? I want to know all your thoughts in the comments down below. And as always, thank you for watching and enjoy your stay.